How's everybody doing out there today? All right, this Papa G coming at you. And I just want to take some time, first of all, to say thank you for taking time out of your day to listen to me and just some of my thoughts. All right. Now, we've been having this community conversation, and I just want to keep it going. Today is going to be a real hot one. I want to start out by saying, first of all, I want to send shout out to, he's not here anymore, but Mr. Kevin Samuels. Since I've discovered the manosphere, I've discovered a whole group that talk and think like I do. And for a long time, I just felt like, hey, Gil, this is who you are. This is how you feel. You just got to stand on it. So, I want to, first of all, shout out to him. I think, that was a great man. I'm sorry he gone. Lapeef, Network, hey, you guys are off the chain, all right? Fresh and fit, okay? There's a few ladies out there, too. Just Pearly and Crimson, Red, or Red Crimson. I'll be listening to y'all. And it's good to hear some ladies that's spitting the facts and understand what's real about life, okay? You see, now, today, we're gonna continue the community conversation and exposing the bully, which is child support. But in exposing that bully, I have to be able to talk about all of the things that are happening in our communities, how it's affecting our life because this bully is here and what this bully is doing. Okay? So, you look at it and you understand that you have a man and then you have a dreamer. Okay? Now you got to figure out which one are you. Okay? A man is a person that have a plan, and he putting his plan in action. He knows the steps that he have to take, and he following those steps. All right? So what man with vision, with thought, you know what I'm saying, on how he want to conduct his life, the goals he want to accomplish, the things he want to do, is about to submit to a woman. The lady is supposed to submit and follow you. You understand? And that's what's so refreshing about Kevin Samuels and all of those guys, all right? Because, wow. Man, let me tell you something. I'm going to move on with the show, but it's just been a revolution for me, okay? Now, if you following a woman, okay, something is wrong with you. If you're a man who you can't provide a roof over your own head, you can't pay for the food that you put in your mouth, you understand? You can't properly keep clothes on your back, okay? Then, you're not a man. You just a grown male. That's all you are, okay? And so now you have all these women out here that's leading these type of men. And unfortunately, these type of males are in large number. Okay? It's a few other things that I'm going to go ahead on and freely speak about now because the way I figure, I'm part of the manosphere. You understand? I've been part of the manosphere. I just didn't even know it existed. I believe in a man paying for everything, you understand, in his house, because that's the only way that you have authority and that she gonna respect you. You understand? If you saying to her, I don't like when you do such and such a thing, or I don't want you to wear such and such a thing, right? And you pay for that car, the house, everything going on in there, she gonna listen. She gonna hear. You understand? But if you eating off her food stamps, if you living in her Section 8, you understand me? Huh? Probably the kids that she got ain't even yours. Okay? She ain't listening to you. And you don't even know what it is to be a man. Because ain't no self-respecting man is getting taken care of by no female like that who getting taken care of by the government. You understand? Look, I respect all y'all. If you want to run around and say, you know, you a man, you know, you don't work, you don't have nothing, all right? You sleeping on this chick couch, or you sleeping in, you know, at her place in the bed with her, but she providing everything. The living room soup she bought, the furniture, the food that's in the refrigerator she bought, the bedroom soup that y'all sleeping on she bought, the car y'all driving is hers. You know what I'm saying? But you a man. And what's so cold is so many of them, and then people take what they have to say as relevant. You're not no man. I don't know what you are, but you're not no man. You know, you're a pretend man. You're a simp. That's right. You're a simp. Okay, listen. Everywhere I've lived, whether it was rent or house note, I paid for it. Okay? The light, the water, the gas, the food. My children will tell you he fed and clothed us. He took care of us. You know, so a real man has a word. And the reason he have a word is because he provides and protects over what he has created. You understand? And a real man have a word because when he say something, if you go against it, there's going to be repercussions. You see? But if you staying in her house, in her Section 8, in her project, eating off her food stamps that they giving her for her children that ain't even yours, you don't have no word. You don't have no say. You understand? But if you're a man that provide all of these things, when you say, don't do such and such a thing, all right, it ain't going to happen, and it ain't going to be no question because you paying the cost to be the boss. You understand? And everything in here, I pay for. Now, they got these old weak ones that know the government is going to give them a way out. So they make having babies a profession. You have to be smart enough to say that type of woman is beneath me. You understand? And you have to have limits. Like, you don't go out here and pick up the drunk lady laying in the street drunk, right? And go and have sex with her. Why? Because that's beneath you. Well, you need to be understanding that that's the same thing with these ladies who will have a kid for you and then take the kid and keep the kid for herself and the government. Okay? Because you see, like I was saying, a man's word is his bond. So when you don't do what I said need to be done, you understand? I can not pay that car note. I can, get you up out of this house. You understand? Since you don't want to act right. You understand? And that's the natural order of things. Okay? But if you don't provide anything, and let me explain something to you. When that lady get with you, you supposed to have a vision on what you're doing with your life, where you're going with your life. You're supposed to have a plan on how you're going to execute this vision. And then you have to actually be doing it. Okay? So she know the script when she come in. That way she come in following you. You don't come into the relationship following her. She got to give you a door key. Why? Because the only door key you got is to your mama house or to your sister house. Or your boy who let you sleep on the couch or something like that. You understand? So You know, look, I come from a different time and era. When I was a little boy, the police did not do anything about domestic violence. And so, as a result of that, you had ladies who, of a general mindset, like you hear women talking back to men and cussing men and doing all that kind of stuff and getting the last word with men. When I was a little boy, ladies didn't do that. You know, running them up with the children and doing all that kind of stuff. You know, standing up to you, getting all in your face and doing all that kind of thing. They do all that kind of thing because they got the police and the court system to protect them. But I come from a time when, you know, man went to work, brought his money home, had his money to the woman. She took care of the family. And what he say went. And I really don't understand anything else. That's why I'm making sure that I take my time to find the right lady, because I don't want to get with no damn fool and, you know, she catch me in a time of weakness and I done made the wrong decision. So because of that, now I'm making more wrong decisions. And here we go. Because, you know, nobody's above slapping the shit out of somebody. All right? So, and with a lot of the disrespect and everything that's going on, you know, that's why I tell people, make sure you be with somebody that's on your level. You know, I was talking with the fellas, and I said this in my last broadcast. All right, listen, I understand if you lost your job, you got sick, you had an accident, whatever it was, so you lost your income, you had to get on food stamps, you had to, you know, get yourself back together. You know, you was on them for 6 months, you was on it for a year, you know, you was on food stamps for 2 years before you was able to get off. Bad things happen to good people. But if food stamps is a permanent source of revenue for you, then that's the type of lady I don't want. So, you know, there's a whole group of men out there who are irresponsible and need these women to be where they are in the irresponsible situation they in, so that they can exist. And unfortunately, they're in a large number. They're in a number so large that, you know, and a lot of these men got jobs. A lot of these, let me tell you something. A lot of these people are professionals, you know, and so they go and get with those people. So you got to understand, and you be like, man, listen, I feed myself. I'm independent. I take care of myself. And nobody giving me no handouts, and I don't want nobody that's getting handouts. You understand? And people that's of this mindset, they understand it. And I don't even have to really go into much more detail on it, because after looking at the manosphere and understanding, you know, that I live my life this way, women have responded to me this way my whole life. You know, when I tell people escapades and things that I have done and experiences that I have had, a lot of times they don't believe me, you know what I'm saying? Because they have led a life of no achievement, you know, a life of just, you know, regularity, where the same thing is routine every day. So I guess that's it. But like, you should only be with somebody that's on your level. Okay, I've traveled half this world. Okay, I've graduated college more times than I want to say. Like I said before, I got my own money. Me and my children, we have businesses together. You understand? I don't want for anything. So, like, any lady I get with, she don't have no medical bills no more. She don't have to pay for prescriptions. She don't have to pay for dental, vision. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I want somebody who gonna appreciate that, because they work for theirs and they know how much this shit costs. You see what I'm saying? And if I can have a heart attack and leave the hospital not worried about it, and then go to rehab and not worry about it, you understand me, and get back home healthy and everything like that, whereas if before, I would have had to pay all this insurance and all this other stuff, I mean, what the hell I look like trying to settle for somebody who don't have no appreciation for these things and how hard it is to obtain these things in life, independently. And shout out to the manosphere, because keep doing what you're doing, because if you don't, there's a lot of brothers out here who just learning about this, and if you can, you know what I'm saying, look up Kevin Samuels, all right, look up Fresh and Fit, okay, shit, look up Tate, Andrew Tate. You understand? Kevin Samuels, Lord have mercy. This man talk and think just like I have. Everybody who know me know that when I'm talking to you on that same real level. Okay? Andrew Tate. Like if you knew my sons, and you talk to my sons would tell you, my daddy told us when we was little boys, every woman you want to meet is going to want to get married and have children. Every one of them. So if all of them got that in common, what you in a rush for? You know what I'm saying? My sons will let you know, I told them from when I dropped them off at college, you know what I'm saying, that they was to have plenty of relationships so that they could have experience in life. And I let them know why they was going straight to college from high school so that they can afford themselves a middle class life, because once they did, all of the people that didn't take the time to make that initial sacrifice, all of those women would then become available to them. And I remember when my sons called me back and told me, Daddy, you was right about everything you said. All the girls we went to school with, we didn't come back from college now and graduated college, and all of them got babies, just like you said. You understand? And then it's like I'm just uncle for the night. I have lived with this. All right? I have never had a cape on. Okay, so I've always understood what a woman's value was. And so when she did not understand what her value was, I just let it be on however she declared it. Okay, so hey, I'm complete. I don't have a problem with talking about what I'm talking about anymore. You see, child support understands that the society that they're creating is going to be absent of masculinity, especially in the black culture. Now, I understand that it is happening in all of the cultures. I understand that it is happening universally, okay? But I'm going to tell you, the feminization of the black community, from what I see, is running at a much faster pace than the whites, the Mexicans, the Chinese, the Vietnamese, and any others that's here, okay? That's why we need to get the petition going to get marriage out of the court system for Christians. Anyone that chooses to get married in a church and not a court will be separate of the child support system. Okay? We want to do away with the monetary gain that the state is getting behind enforcing this archaic and barbaric system where they are destroying the American family, destroying the American fabric and culture. Okay? And it's a reason why we are racing to the bottom to be a third world country. We have to get back control of our young men. We have to reinstill pride in family. We have to reinstill pride in the family structure, the family hierarchy. The father is the head of the home. Okay? The mother is his helper. She is not the head of the home. The mother receives instruction that she operates on. She's not supposed to independently run the home. I'm going to talk to y'all about something today. What do you think that's saying to a young male who's 10, 11 years old and got a woman whipping him instead of having a man being the authority in his life? What type of psyche you think that does? You understand? For some men, it turn them into pimps. For some men, it turn them into these heartless beasts. Because it's unnatural for them to submit authority to a woman. So now they wrestling with inside. They don't know what the conflict is. Why this rage pop up. You understand me? And why they'll jump up and smack the hell out of a woman. You know, it's because things have been taken out of its natural order. At 10 years old, his daddy should be the only one whooping his ass. Why? Because you're thinking about the future of that young man, and you don't want that young man to ever be looking at a woman as his authority. That's not for a woman to understand or respect. That's just for a woman to understand that that's how it's got to be. You know, my ex-wife wasn't no whooping on my sons after no 10 years old. I didn't really even allow that option. I think I might have allowed that option one time after they made 10 years old, because I felt like I really wanted to give him an easy road out, because I was going to fuck him up too bad if I whooped him. So I gave him the easy out of letting his mama give him a whooping and me give him a punishment. You know what I'm saying? That was really out of charity and mercy for him. But let me ask you a question. If women get in charge, the fuck you think men gonna do? Because a man's natural nature is to explore new territory. It's to conquer new land. You know what I'm saying? Women don't make ICBMs. Women don't make fully loaded machine guns. You know? Women don't make fighter aircraft. You know? Women don't think about going to war and destroying whole countries. So, what's going to happen if the women get in charge? You need to think about that. All right? And we got to be honest. In this day and age, you know, I'm just going to say it because it needs to be said. If you got a good man, ladies, you know, that one time that man have sex with you, the ejaculation that he put in you can impregnate over 100 women. Just that one round of sex that he had with you, that he put in you, could impregnate 100 women or more. So why in the world do you think that if he was told to be fruitful and multiply, that meant be fruitful and multiply with just you? And you got so many dudes out here who couldn't give you $20 to put in your gas tank. You know what I'm saying? Let alone fill it up. All right? Versus you got guys who, you know, can do it without it even being a thought. You really think we just going to be limited to just one lady? You know, I wish that I used to try to explain that to my ex-wife. But she wasn't hearing it. She wasn't having it. You know, I used to try to explain to any lady at the time, you know, when I was a young man. All right? I was a medical professional and skilled with my hands in many ways. And when you live in a black community, the majority of the young men and the older men, they don't have professions. They have jobs. When you have a job, you're making so much an hour. When you have a profession, you know what you're making. You understand? And when you're around people that's got to work for a living, regular people, and you doing your thing and you balling, you're going to have more than one woman. That's just the truth. And, you know, I wish that it's a better way to say it, and women going to have to come to the realization and be able to accept that. You know, you got a man that's working and making, you know, $60,000, $70,000, $80,000 a year more, and for him, it's another 1,000 in the community ain't doing nothing. What you think gonna happen? But, you know, I wanted to have this conversation today because the manosphere, I think every male who hear this broadcast need to check it out. All right? Now, a lot of fellas have quite often heard me say this. I don't argue with women. All right? I don't argue with women, period. I say what I gotta say, and they hear me, and I go on about my way. Over the years, I've talked with men who told me about women who beat men, you know, and hey, I believe it. Anything is possible under the sun. But there ain't nothing about me that make a woman think she gonna hit me and she gonna win a fight. So I because of that, I don't really argue with women. My only woman I can really say I argued with was my ex-wife, and that's because we had children together. And a lot of times I had to explain my direction that I was taking my family in, and because it was foreign to her what I was doing, you know, she didn't have a father who really like was in the house and invested in them and, you know, was trying to build generational wealth. So the things I was doing was foreign to her. She didn't understand what a high value man was. Okay. So she would get upset. You know what I'm saying? As I was coming up in life, and I explained to her what the plan was. I was starting me a real estate investment company. Okay. And, you know, we made a deal. She was going to go to school for accounting, and I was going to go to school for real estate and learn everything in real estate. And I literally took every class in real estate. And that's what the papers say. The papers say Mr. Muse has completed every course in real estate at Delgado Community College. Went there 2 years, 2.5 years, something like that. Okay. And she graduated school, wouldn't go sit her boards. You know, I bust my butt, chased that dream. I got one piece of real estate, and I started my little real estate company called Fantasy Properties. You know, my then mother-in-law at the time, she believed in me, and she really helped me out to the best of her ability. And, you know, I tried to do a lot of the work myself because, you know, I was a fledgling company just starting out, but I have a real bad back. I'm a 90% veteran. So minor tasks are major for me when it comes to physical labor, that bending over and doing things. And so I wind up, you know, I hired a lot of people out. I eventually got the house to rent. And when I left her, you know, I left them with the house, with renters in the house. I gave her everything. But the bottom line is, a man is doing the leading, a lady is doing the following. All right? And you don't follow her plan, she follows yours. Okay? I understand that if we don't take back control of fatherhood and get the courts to say They will take over common law marriage. They will take over everything outside of traditional marriage. But traditional marriage will be handled in the church. We have to respect the fact that marriage is ordained by the Creator. And if there is a problem, then we have to go where we worship. Okay, the church is going to have to start stepping up and going to have to speak out and start speaking loudly so that they can start to fight to save the institution of marriage. Okay, marriage is under attack through child support, and the attorney general and the politicians, they are incentivizing the mothers to leave the fathers. The church is being quiet and not trying to let these ladies know that adultery is not a good enough reason to get a divorce. Okay? You don't overlook these lives that you have created and the responsibility that you have to these young ones to go out and seek betterment for just yourself. And we also have to establish that when a couple get together and announce that they are boyfriend and girlfriend, that a contract has to be signed saying that in the event that we have children from this union, the male children will go with the father, or the male and female children will go with the father if that be the wishes of them. Okay? In the event that the contract is not signed, all right, then it is automatically assumed that the male children will go with the father. This is going to take longer than our lifetime. Okay? They have made a concentrated effort since slavery to remove the black father and his authority, the black male and his role out of society, and paint the one that they want. Okay? Now we need that same amount of years, 50, 60 years of serious effort put into restoring fatherhood, restoring father's rights. Do this. If you got a single father, teenage father, the same thing that you do for a teenage mother, you do for a teenage father. The same thing you do for a young adult mother, single mother, is the same thing you do for a young adult single father. We're just going to open up the benefits. The difference is we're going to have a real welfare to work program helping these people to establish independence. Welfare is not a permanent program. Food stamps and welfare is not a permanent program. Okay? It's not meant for you to raise your children on. This is a trick that the government is using to replace the black father. The father is supposed to provide the money for the food for the family. If you're getting food stamps from the government, you don't need that man. If you're getting a place to stay from the government, you don't need that man. But this is the children's father. It takes two to make a well-rounded person. So please listen. My Cash App is $Gil Muse. You're going to see my picture pop up. Please Cash App me if you'd like to show your support. Thank you for taking time out of your day for listening. We're going to do everything we can to get a petition going to remove traditional marriage from the court system. I love you. I love everybody. Thank you and have a wonderful day.